I'm gonna reclaim all of this. Take it back with all my feet. So many years passed by while I was stuck in limbo. I felt so stagnant, living life in the past tense. It's time to get back up and turn down everything stopping me now. I put up all these walls, no further I could fall. Could I destroy the town and still come out on top of it all? No more what could have been. We're in the war within.
We are Sex Bob, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ammo Wrestling episode 61. Starting off tonight's show, we have Eve Stokes coming out to issue an open challenge to anyone in the back. Eve coming off of a loss at Super Duper. Talk about that a little bit more in a second, but for now, let's see who her opponent tonight is going to be. Coming out, making her Ammo debut is Melody Psycho. As bell now sounding for the match, Melody versus Eve underway. Melody has been training in the dojo for the last month to a couple of months now, I do believe. And right now, just right off the bat, a stalling suplex right to Eve. As Melody trying to take it to Eve early on, but as I mentioned earlier, Eve very stout, very observant, and very good when it comes to that wrestling ring. Going for a takedown, but no, Melody jumps over. Very impressive from the start, and the second jawbreaker connects from Eve, taking down Melody once again. But at Super Duper, Eve was a part of a women's triple threat match to determine the Ammo Women's Champion, in which Roxanne Elkins pinned Courtney, the former champion, while Eve was on the outside. Some dubious circumstance, if you want to call it that, on the outside, as Eve was taken out right before the pinfall, and Roxanne kind of won the match based off of Eve Stokes' own move. But that is being right place, right time, and right now this place and time is focused on Melody taking it to Eve Stokes. And oh, hanging her up on the ropes. One. But ooh, only a one count there as Eve Stokes powers out. Of course, also on the card tonight, we have Christopher Garcia versus Chris Midas, the battle of the Chris's, if you will. As well as Donovan McNeil versus Richard Corvo. Two men who I know are hungry for that pure wrestling title. As well as our main event, the Grind Reunite Chandler Finch coming off of a win at Super Duper, as well as Leon Stark coming off of his first retain of that junior heavyweight title, as they jump back into tag team action against a team who has been real shaky as of late. Can both teams get back on the same page? I have to see as the night unfolds, but right now Eve with that cannonball senton into the corner and now into the pinfall. But a quick kick out there for Melody. Both went back up to their feet, and Melody getting her up once again. And you can just see the stalling suplex underway. The legs of Eve trying to fight as she falls down. It's going to be interesting to see what type of style Melody sort of has to bring to this roster. Right now we've seen some of that power and the strength in the stalling suplex. But right now Eve trying to power through. Eve heavily based off his strikes, somewhat, some would say possibly a British style of wrestling, not necessarily the technical side of it, more so the bruiser brawling side. And now Melody back around, inverted DDT. And Eve is dazed. And now Melody getting up. Even, oh, what a neck breaker all the way around. Into the pin. 1, 2, no. Eve still kicking out relatively early on. So there's plenty of match left between these two women. And oh, a Saito suplex. And the knee drops down from Melody. And stomps away at the face as Melody gets her up completely and flips back down. DDT. 1, 2. And only a 2 count as Eve staying alive in this matchup now. Ooh, big shoulder block there. Calling Eve back up to her feet. And just starts clobbering once again. And now possibly looking that neck breaker for a second time. Making that arch. And just dropping straight back down. One thing that is always so interesting to see when it comes to someone who has power like Melody has, it seems, is real quick. Oh, Death Valley driver straight to the back of the neck of Eve for the pin. 2. And only a 2 count. But as I was saying, the strength of Melody, there comes a moment where you're hanging up in air and you're kind of at her mercy, mid-suplex, mid-whatever, where there's no possible place for you to go. That's the power that, some people pertain, and that's what we've been seeing here, is that Eve really hasn't had much of a place to go besides down. And no matter how she falls down, it's gonna hurt. But right now, Eve's still fighting through everything. Irish whip off the ropes. Going for a knee, but no, Cotton. What a clothesline there by Melody. Off the ropes. Once again, that knee drops back on top of the face, right on the bridge of the nose of Eve. And Eve just kind of being outworked right now. As Melody dragging her back up into a German suplex from a deadlift position. Picks up a 2 count from it. But what's Melody for a 3rd time? Neck breaker. hyping herself up, and I think the fans know what, I don't know if they fully know what they're witnessing. And Eve Stokes kind of being bullied a little bit right now. But there's no doubt what's happening in that ring. As Eve rolls to the outside, getting back in now. Both women staring each other down. Eve going into the corner, possibly looking for a lawn dart. And the lawn dart lands right on the bullseye. Big uppercut there by Eve. And oh, that knee strike straight to the midsection. Off of the ropes into a senton. And there's no give once again. And now Eve calling for bitter, sweet ending. And down Melody goes. 1, 2. And finding that way to kick out. At just a 2. Oh, big shoulder block there. There's Melody getting her all the way up. And that DDT. 1, 2, 3. And Melody Psycho picking up her debut victory. This women's roster is only getting better and evolving by every single day. And Melody is one of those faces proving that fact. It'll be interesting to see how everything unfolds in these upcoming weeks, with Melody joining the fray, possible other names joining as well. Roxanne better hold that title tight as we now get ready for our second matchup of the evening. Second matchup of the evening underway now, as coming to the ring first. Still fighting, Christopher Garcia.
I'm an angel slash demon, man. You know what I'm saying? We're making a demon.
And his opponent, he is the connoisseur of the elbow. He is Chris Midas.
Angels, you know what I'm saying? A lot of demon, 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 a lot of demon.
When I was 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, I knew I was a special one who had a little more. And they wondered why I was plumb rotten to the core. It was nothing but an itty bitty demon.
There's a demon inside of me, can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. There's a demon inside of me, can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no.
Yo, it make me wanna drink a lot, go up in the pink with knot. This the reason I ain't at ease and currently on the brink of pop. This the reason I sit at the window with the millie, wishing a nigga gon' come break in. It is the reason I be freaking a woman deep in love and making her silly because I done make friends. It is the reason I bang. It is definitely the reason I slang, distributed the cane. The reason I'm super soaking in the pain and starting to love it. It's wanting to give me way more of it. They want me to lug it through the mud and dust. The reason with happy people I'm disgusted. I'm talking about those things that make you do bad things. Living the evil up in the fast lane. Making me wanna have a wicked persona, beating the hell up out of people, making me mad, man. Gave me the gun when I ran up in Dillon's in 9th grade with a slight range. I was ice age. Another reason Tekanina won't have any light days. Voted me the king of darkness. Voted me to be really heartless. All up in my spirit they march. They making me start sparking at the targets. Woke up today I was steaming. Cause when I found out I was not dreaming. Because the host that influenced me the most was a goddamn demon.
When I was 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, I knew I was a special one who had a little more. And they wondered why I was plumb rotten to the core. It was nothing but an itty bitty demon.
There's a demon inside of me, can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. There's a demon inside of me, can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no. Can I kill it? Hell no.
It's a demon inside of me and I'm thinking it's that dope. It got me doing shit a nigga never even.
Matchup underway, both men really needing to pick up a victory here. One thing that's been so close between both men is just how close they have been to getting everything that they've wanted. They've never really gone down without fighting, and right now Christopher Garcia really in tow to be in line for possibly a junior heavyweight championship match if everything goes how he wants it right now. In this match, everything kind of back and forth as Midas goes for the first pinfall. Only a 1 count, but a kick to the stomach as Midas trying to continue on, dropping onto a knee and letting him go. Big story of this matchup right here, and I know these two men's aspirations in the future don't necessarily align with their opponents. But it is of speed and agility versus power and strength. Not to say that one exists without the other, but that is primarily their plan of attack, their arsenal. Big drop kick there to the back of Midas by Christopher Garcia. But oh, double leg takedown there by Midas. Trying to get him back up on his feet, but trying to be nullified by Christopher Garcia, throwing that knee once again, still standing, and dropping him all the way back. Oh, getting him up into the spine buster now. 1, but no. The heel toss to Garcia, putting Midas in a great position so far in this matchup. And you can just see strength on strength by Midas, but a kickoff there by Garcia. Going springboard, moonsault, and connects. Kick to the back of the neck, getting him up on his feet, just wearing him down now. You can just see that limb target towards the arm. Garcia, another kick, really trying to keep Midas grounded here. Probably a really smart idea as he's starting to focus these arms, taking away the power out of those elbows. Dragging him to the middle of the ring or close to for the pin. Only a 1 count as Midas kicking out with ease. But Garcia still in control. Still focusing in on the arms. up on his feet now. But Garcia Irish whip into the corner. A big boot just dropping him down. The boot didn't target the legs enough, as now running off the ropes, and oh, what a boot straight across the jaw. And getting him up, choke breaker onto the knee. He might have focused in on the arms early on in this matchup, but right now, that doesn't matter. And still, electric chair death by elbow. Connecting and taking out Garcia. Is this enough? But no, only a 2 count. Midas gonna have to go back to something else. He's beating his chest, looking to take out Garcia, and Garcia up on his feet with a big chop, boot to the stomach, in return, and taking him all the way down into the corner and off the ropes, and oh, cross body into the corner. That cyclone boot. Locked and loaded, and oh, not even a rotation, just full on soul destroying soul. And still Garcia finding a way to kick out. It's not every day that someone can take as much damage as Garcia has. But going for that electric chair, Garcia getting back around, big back elbows straight to the face, getting some separation, but a snapmare. And working him all the way down. Garcia really just being slow and deliberate when it comes to this matchup. He's not trying to make a careless mistake. That's what's cost him so much in the past. That's what he's trying to cut down on as he continues here. As you can just see that shoulder nearly popping out of his socket, calling him up on his feet now, fully ready. Oh, but no leg caught. Takedown. As now, Midas STF onto Garcia. And back elbow breaking away from it all. Garcia on his feet, going jawbreaker. Flooring Midas. Now calling him. Flipping him over onto his stomach. And oh, Muda locking in. I don't think Garcia's really ever been this technical in a matchup now. This is a change of pace, and it's something that is working well for him right now. Into the atomic drop, scoop slam. And up, just wrenching that forearm across the face, just irritating Midas. As now up on his shoulders. And we get the airplane spin. Round and round it goes. When will he stop? Nobody knows. Just disorienting Midas over and over again. And falling down into the pin combo. 1, 2, 3. And Christopher Garcia picks up a win here tonight. Much needed win. On his way to possibly challenge for that junior heavyweight title. Him and Leon Stark have a lot of similarities when it comes to their mindset, their moveset, so on and so forth. Be interesting going into the future, seeing just exactly where everybody is. As Midas still looking to find the right page he needs to be on. But what a great moment for Garcia here tonight as we move on now to our next matchup of the evening. coming to the ring first. He is the Dog of War.
Welcome to Exit 13.
He is Donovan McNeil.
LL Cool J. You said I was finished and Father Time was to blame. You disrespected my legacy and threw dirt on my name. Told DJs he's over, he ain't spitting the same. What he says is irrelevant, hip-hop culture has changed. When I walk in the room, young boys look at me strange, as if I am a relic from some long-forgotten game. It makes my blood boil, turns my eyes to flames. I built an empire, they tried to kick me out in the rain. So I called on an inner power, it's hard to explain. It's like the Holy Spirit utilizing hip-hop slang. I'm beyond the gold grills and logos on chains. Just see, I changed rap forever, I elevated the game. Launched the greatest.
And his opponent. He is a former Pure Wrestling champion, and he is the Chilean God, Richard Corvo.
Como un puño hermano nos mantiene el rap, esta es la unión verdadera. Na 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 na.
Yeah, yeah. Si te dicen que es poco real, ¿con qué fundamento es? Nada te satisface, entonces ¿qué va a proponer? Otro hater de internet, de esta letra libre fe. Fehaciente es el nivel, suelta gente afírmense. No por tener más cifras vas a ser un ídolo. Tú quieres poner muros como Trump en la frontera de México. Y en el hip hop, lo primero el respeto, lo segundo no envidiar a nadie, y luego hacer algo en concreto. Porque mierda fingen tanto siempre frente al mic. Solo quieren ser más bitches, son de Fisher Price. Yo, liderar no es liberarse, criticar hoy no te hará parecer interesante. Se trata de unión, constancia y rigor, trabajo. Sabes que estás de sobra con consulta de los pacos. Si obvias este concepto, tú estás ciego de hace rato. Perdí la fe en Dios, pero el hip hop es un milagro.
No creo mucho en Dios, pero este es el nivel. Siento cosas por el hip hop que no puedo ni entender. Como puedo creer en algo que no puedo ver. Y ahí recuerdo que amo el rap aunque no me da de comer. Porque qué sería de mí sin un papel y un boli para tatuarle con amor lo que susurra el timonel. Porque yo vengo de ron a granel, de vender discos a los yumas para poder comprar la aceite a María Esther. Yo no pienso olvidar el chamaco aquel que rapió en Alamar, La Madriguera y hasta en el café de Ariel. La causa 2 estaba sonando well porque en la unión está la fuerza. Que sería de Cervantes sin Miguel.
Matchup underway now. Donovan McNeil squaring up against Richard Corvo. Relatively same height. Corvo might be having the weight. But right now they're starting off with some chain wrestling of sorts. But oh, McNeil into the corner. But Richard shoving him off. And oh, going brutal punch right in return. Really working in. Now, oh, shot right to the back of the knee. So, such a fragile place, if you will. This match having heavy implications on the Pure Wrestling title, as Richard and Donovan really looking to progress, to get better, and possibly challenge the new Pure Wrestling champion in Tristan Silva. As now off the ropes he goes, getting him up. Oh, right on the knee, exposed knee of Donovan McNeil, is now getting him back down into the snapmare. And what another just stiff kick straight to the back. Now we saw this in the other match. It was very effective for Christopher Garcia, looking to have the same results here for Donovan McNeil. One thing that I've always admired about Donovan just from talking to him backstage is how much he just enjoys talking to like-minded individuals about the ring, about hoop working, just finding similar people. He enjoys matches like this more than a lot of people getting able to get in the ring, focus on his craft. Him and Joshua Lockhart had a match at Super Duper, having this match now, possibly even going forward. This new breed of technical wrestler like Donovan McNeil can possibly change the game very soon. And now getting him up, and Corvo kicking him away. Corvo, I'm not sure if anyone is truly like-minded like Richard Corvo is. I know he is the Chilean brute, but I really am always just amazed at how brutal he can possibly be inside of those ropes when it comes to how hard he can hit things. I know you guys might have been seeing the trend of people punching those game machines. I once saw Richard Corvo do brute force onto one of those things and it just broke. It fell off. Wasn't able to read it. Really sad. Lost $10. But, that's besides the point as we hop back into this action now. As Corvo back in control and just go. I thought he was about to send him outside the ring, but pulls him back, and what an uppercut into that leg drop there. Into the pin here. Richard, but no, missing that kick to the back. Donovan McNeil with the Regal Plex, and oh gosh, in the ropes it seems. That's what the ref had to say, but just the impact alone might have been enough to keep him down for 3 if you just dragged him away. So that was picture perfect right there. But now Corvo getting him back up on his feet, sending him back inside the into the other corner, and we become familiar with this move at Slam, always leading the fall back elbow, which is its own precursor to what awaits. Brute force. Down into the cover 2, but only a 2 count. And Donovan McNeil moving around into that powerbomb. Did not see that fully coming, and now backbreaker, double knees. And now just the stomps away, calling Corvo up to his feet, might meet the same end, dropping him down, maneuvering the legs around. Koji clutch connecting, but no. Corvo able to fight out. Kick back to the chest as Richard in a good position right now, dropping him down with the shoulder block, and another one just running through him. This time McNeil dodges. That up on the rope and double axe handle, drops straight. And into the ropes once again. Up to the second rope, and once again, drop back. Now McNeil picking back up that momentum into the Bulldog. Running everywhere, getting that back and forth. Fisherman Buster. 1, 2. Oh! Donovan McNeil saying that's a 3 count. I might have to agree. That was extremely close for both men. But no, going for the Koji clutch instead. Richard bringing him back. Just the single beat. Flooring McNeil as Richard calling him back up, looking to do so again. As this might just do it. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Up on his feet once again, and oh my gosh. Comboing up brute force after brute force. This has to be it. 3, no. Donovan McNeil still kicking out. If this was a pure wrestling rules matchup, this might have already been called. But McNeil still fighting. Putting his body to its limits. Dedication to remain in this matchup, working that shoulder once again. Just having to let it go. And uncharacteristic. I don't know if I've ever seen him go up to the top rope and that knee drop on to Corvo. Leg drop in toe from Corvo after absorbing his own leg drop from McNeil. This match still continuing on. I don't know how either man is still functioning in this matchup. But now McNeil taking him down, cross face, but once again still just not enough to pick up the victory against Richard Corvo. Oh, body shot once again. Just pummeling him into the mat. Trying to press him in like a stamp. I don't think bodies work like that. Big shot there into the corner. And a wild uppercut connects. And that arm once again. Into the cross arm breaker. Can McNeil make Corvo tap out? And despite his best efforts so far in the submission games, he's not been able to be successful. Oh gosh, you could just see that body bend. And the gator roll by McNeil. One, two. Oh. I thought that could possibly do it. McNeil been very diligent, trying to see where Corvo is in this matchup as Corvo sends him back over to the corner, but no, not allowing him to capitalize. Those big shots straight. Back and forth with some big chops and hits in that Buster one more time. As now grabbing, hit that arm back around, crossface locked in. And still able to fight out is Corvo. Grabbing at the arm, stepping all the way in. 1, 2, and just a 2 count. No! Capture suplex, getting Corvo back up on his feet. McNeil going for that Koji clutch, but reversed. And Irish whip into the corner. Big uppercut once again. The way Corvo is able to utilize the ring, utilize the corners for his own benefit. As now, the last corner, I believe this could possibly be used. And dropping the elbow backwards. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count as neither man want to give up. McNeil being called up to his feet. And brute force blast through him. 1, 2, 3. And Richard Corvo picks up the hard-fought victory as he looks to make a claim for his rematch against Tristan Silva. We'll see more action from Silva in the upcoming weeks, as I'm sure we will also see more action for these two men as well. What a barn burner of a matchup they just put on as we now get ready for our main event of the evening.
Otro lado se ve, unidos fuertes como un puño, hermano, nos mantiene el rap. Esta es la unión verdadera. Na 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 na.
Yeah, yeah. Si te dicen que es poco real, ¿con qué fundamento es? Nada te satisface, entonces ¿qué va a proponer? Otro hater de internet, de esta letra libre fe. Fehaciente es el nivel, suelta gente, afírmense. No por tener más cifras va a ser un ídolo. Tú quieres poner muros como Trump en la frontera de México. Y en el hip hop, lo primero el respeto, lo segundo no envidiar a nadie, luego hacer algo en concreto. Porque mierda fingen tanto siempre frente al mic. Solo quieren ser más bitchy, son de feature price. Yo, liderar no es liberarse.
Coming to the ring first, they are the tag team comprised of Leon Stark and Chandler Finch. They are The Grind.
Back to me. I'm sure it tasted oh so sweet, but it was never good enough for me.
And their opponents coming to the ring, they are 2/3 of Subway. The tag team of Arthur Finch and Luke Franklin. They are Subway.
Never gonna stop me, you're never gonna stop me, you're never gonna stop me, you're never gonna stop. King of the beach. King of the beach.
Starting off this matchup, we have Leon Stark and Arthur Finch. A rematch from the beginning of the junior heavyweight round robin tournament. Alright, now the current junior heavyweight champ, Leon Stark. And Arthur Finch, of course, in the ring as well. On the apron. Just to kind of give a recap of where these teams have been. Subway has been in a rough patch as of late when it comes to their tag team winnings. Not really clicking as well as they used to. It's led to some frustration amongst the team. Right now, everything seems chill. We'll have to see how they work as a team, especially against great competition like Leon Stark and Chandler Finch. And Leon, of course, being the junior heavyweight champion, looking for his next opponent after taking out Coda Riley. Coda wants another shot looking at the rematch, but currently unavailable contractually. Will have to earn that spot back, and right now Chandler Finch tagging back in. Chandler was able to win a 4-way elimination tables match, outlasting 3 other people in Dante Ashford, Chris Midas, and Christopher Garcia. 2 of which fought tonight. Dante will probably be in action next week. And is looking to see what lies in wait for him in the upcoming future. And now Luke Franklin entering the matchup, slowing things down. He's the biggest man and the only non-junior heavyweight in this matchup. Oh, but that doesn't matter to the man, as Finch takes him down, but Franklin back up on his feet, taking Finch down himself, as now trying to drag him over to the corner, fighting away. Both teams very diligent when it comes to their preparation and what they're trying to accomplish here. Possibly even looking to get back at the tag team champions in the squad, as they are currently possibly the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. The only team that has a longer reign is the Young Lions. They are quickly approaching that number, as they are the current longest reigning champions out of anybody else. And many of the other champions are recently crowned. Second place is Leon Stark, going into his 2nd month. Possibly 3rd. 2nd full month. But a lot of teams on the horizon to possibly be challengers to. A lot of people to challenge the junior heavyweight title as well. Even the world title, which hasn't really been heavily featured on the show, as Shaq visiting family in Harlem. A lot of people scrambling for title opportunities. So it must be nice being a champion in Leon Stark's shoes. One thing that's really nice about the grind is how they support one another even in their individual efforts. wanting to face each other in the finals of the Junior Heavyweight Classic, as well as even facing each other in Magnificent 16, a tournament where Leon Stark got very close, ended up being won by 1/3 of the pit crew in Mike Rummy. Of course, he wasn't as successful in his efforts against Big Outs, but the pit crew also, him and Goro as a tag team, very big possibilities for them in the near future as we have spilled to the outside. Of course, ref and now at a 10 count, you have all the way till 20. You're going to have to get it back inside the ring. I also want to take this moment in the main event to hype up Walkies and John Willikers, both men still in the Honor Bound tournament right now. If you want to see some more Ammo Guys in action, go check out Honor Bound on the Code Lions Twitch channel. Fridays at 6. We have a really fun partnership over there, the Totally Platonic Partnership. We don't have an ad for the show. We blame someone for not making an intro, but they work hard on other things. That's a joke for anyone listening and gets that reference. But as the match continues to roll, Leon Stark sending Chandler Finch, or tagging in Chandler Finch, and LED connects. A little inverted, but Arthur Finch running in and breaking up the match thus far, and Stark not allowing that to continue with that stunner. Stark's going to have to get outside of this match, and Franklin going for a big hit. But both men remain inside of the ring as Finch, big knee straight to the arm, and dropping him down. And what a combination that is. And the power bomb from Chandler Finch connects. Gator roll by Chandler Finch. I often mention that I think Chandler Finch is the more technical out of the two. In recent development, I think they're a little bit more even than some other people would give them credit for. But a second LED connects. And 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Monkey foot from Luke Franklin on Leon Stark gets that separation he might need, and it just feels like Subway haven't been up to their best right now. Seems like they're fighting individually against a tag team despite the inconsistencies that their tag team has been facing. Stark possibly looking for that last shot. Instead, to settle for a jawbreaker. Oh, low down drop kick. Tagging back in Chandler Finch. One thing that I love so much about commentating Ammo Wrestling is just how great these tag teams are, how little quit they have. Shoving him off, and Arthur Finch tilt-a-whirl almost into a small package. Couldn't hold on to the pin there, instead settling soccer ball kick. shot there by Arthur Finch. Finch versus Finch has been a sort of tease back in the locker room. Opportunity here to dictate. I don't remember who had the advantage before the tournament. Right now they have both developed to be very different fighters, very different competitors. And now Chandler Finch with a man down straight on top of his head of Arthur Finch. 2 and able to kick out. Oh, Arthur Finch grabbing Chandler Finch. Mid-taunt. Not the best ideal moment as Finch gets him up looking for that suburban sidekick straight to the face. Broken up there by Leon. It's now Finch hyping himself up. Up on the feet. Ducks underneath, jumping up, drop kick. Now enjoying super kick down low, moved out of the way, looking for the Kimura lock. Not able to be sunken in. Stomping through the arm now. Chandler Finch looking to lock in onto Arthur. Possibly looking for a third LED between both men. Into the corner as now Arthur Finch not able to capitalize. Chandler Finch fighting away. Possibly looking for devil's lettuce. And now Chandler once again, that power bomb connecting. Into the corner once again, looking for a third LED, and it connects as Leon Stark. 2. And oh, nearly a 3 count. I thought that could possibly do it. Instead, going double knees into the corner. Arthur Finch still looking to thrive. Once again, constant tagging for a 4th LED on to Arthur Finch. 2. And somehow Arthur Finch still finding that manner to kick out. It's Chandler up now. I don't know how much longer either of these teams can go. Half and half suplex, testing the limits even more. Strike, drop down. And ref only with a 2 count once again. Arthur Finch having the opportunity to tag in Luke Franklin, deciding against it, and now getting Chandler up on the shoulders. Cul-de-sac kick connecting. Oh, nearly picking up his own 3 count as Luke Franklin stormed the ring. Into the corner now. Taking away. Big back elbow caught. No. Into the power bomb of Chandler Finch once again. Matchup still continuing on. And a 5th LED. Is that enough to finally put him away? But no, Luke Franklin able to get out. As both men are downed. Dr. Finch sending Franklin off the ropes. Back heel kick. If you're asking me, he should have tagged in Luke Franklin a minute ago. He now rolls outside of the ring. Oh, face busted open of Arthur Finch. Into the corner, finally tagging in Luke Franklin. There's barely seen any time left in this matchup. Shoving back and forth. The ref up to a count of 3. And sending him back inside of the ring now, Leon Stark. Gonna have to find a way to put this away now if he wants to. Last shot into the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And the grind. Pick up And our return tag team win. There were great tag team going on. Great tag team now. As Subway continues to struggle. Something's gonna have to give there. They're gonna have to go hash it out in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode of Amma Wrestling. We will see you more next week for episode 62.
Tell me what you're after. Don't wanna take it way too far. 'Cause here we are, waiting once again. You say you always keep your word. Show me what you're after, just a little